Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Nancy, and if you are new to my channel, kindly subscribe, share and like my videos, and also put on your notification bell to be notified when I upload new tutorials. So in today's class, I'm going to be showing you how to make this lovely top, which can be worn in two ways. The name of the fabric I use is called a damask fabric, and the amount of fabric I used is just 1 yard because it's for a small size person. So let's get started. The first step is to fold the fabric into two. To know the wideness of the fold you need, you divide the bust circumference by 4 plus 2 inches sewing allowance to the side. And these are the essential measurements I'll be working with. The first measurement is the shoulder measurement, the bust measurement, the waist circumference, the armhole, and the full length of the top. And the full length of the blouse can also be called the waistline of the blouse since it's a crop top. The first step is to mark the starting line. And the starting line is also called the shoulder line. On the shoulder line, I'll place my tape to mark the neck width, which is 4 inches. And I'll place the tape to mark the neck depth, which is 3 inches, to connect the 2 points together in form of a round neckline. The next step is to mark the shoulder measurements. The shoulder is 14 inches divided by 2, which is 7 inches, plus half inch sewing allowance. I marked 7.5 inches. On this 7.5 inches, I'll mark 1 inch below that point to connect the point to the neck width to form the shoulder slope. Now, on the tip of the shoulder slope, I'll place the armhole circumference. The armhole circumference is 16 inches divided by 2. I have 8 inches. Now I placed it on this point to mark 8 inches. To connect these 2 points together in form of a straight line. And this new point will be extended horizontally to be the bust line of the blouse. Now, to get the armhole curve, you need to place your tape on the armhole line to get the midpoint. Alright, so recall that whenever we are making a fitted top, we usually dip the midpoint of the armhole of the front piece in by ½ inch or 1/4 of an inch. But in cases where both the front piece and the back piece can be worn in two ways, then you shouldn't dip the armhole in. Now I'll go ahead to just mark the armhole curve without eliminating any little piece from the midpoint of the armhole. The next step is to mark the bust circumference on the bust line. The bust circumference is 34 inches. Divide by 4, that is 8.5, plus 2 inches sewing allowance to the side. Now, the next step is to mark the full length of the top. So the full length of the top is 18 inches. I added 1 inch sewing allowance to that, which made it 19 inches altogether. Now on the hem line, I'll just place the waist circumference divided by 4. The waist circumference divided by 4 is 7 inches. And because I'll be adding a waist dart, I'll add ½ inch to that 7 inches, which will make it 7.5 inches. Then 2 inches sewing allowance to the side to connect the waist point to the bust point as shown. Alright, so this is all for the front piece of the top. Okay, you can also use it as a back piece. Like I said, you can wear it in two ways, but let's assume that this is the front piece of the top. The next step is to add a sewing allowance to the shoulder slope, in which it will be attached to the back piece. So I added ½ inch sewing allowance to the top of the shoulder slope. The next step is to cut the back piece. To achieve this, you need to fold the fabric into two. Now I'll place the front piece on the folded fabric, making sure that I have extra 1.5 inches sewing allowance for the zipper, which is at the center back of the back piece. The neckline for the back piece will be a V neckline. I'm just going to extend the neck width horizontally, and the length of the neckline I'll be working with is 9 inches. So it depends on how deep you want the V-neck to be. But if you want to rock your top in both ways, then you shouldn't go below 9 inches, except you have the intentions of exposing your cleavage a little. Then you can go below 9 inches. Please pay attention. On this 9 inches, I marked an horizontal line, which will be connected to the neck width of the top. Because I noticed that most people, when making a v-neck with a zipper included, they do not mark this short horizontal line I did. They will just connect the neck width straight down to the center back, and if you do that, you'll be having issues when you fix your zipper. So it is best to connect the horizontal line a little first, that's the zipper allowance, before connecting it to the neck width like I did. Alright, the next step is to cut out the back piece. Now I'll open the zipper allowance. The next step is to mark the waist dart. A bust span is 6 inches. You divide by 2, and that's 3 inches, plus half inch sewing allowance, which made it 3.5 inches. So I marked 3.5 inches on this point, and I used the scissors to notch it in both the front piece and the back piece. So let's get started with the sewing. After placing the back piece on the front piece, I'll take this to my sewing machine to secure the shoulder slope by half inch. The next step is to use a bias tape to secure the neckline. And for this zipper allowance side, which is quite horizontal, you need to raise the machine footer so it doesn't change the shape of the zipper allowance. So after I attached the bias tape on the right side of the fabric, the next step is to turn the bias tape to the wrong side of the fabric to secure it. After I secure the neckline of the bias tape, this is how it should be. Now the next step is to secure the waist dart. So this is the back piece, remember. So on this part I notched, I'm just going to secure the waist dart to about 6 inches. And I'll also secure the other side of the waist dart by 6 inches. And on the front piece, I'll secure the 2 darts to a length of 6 inches. Alright, so I've secured all 4 darts. The next step is to secure the hem by folding it half an inch in and further folding it half an inch in. And to also secure the hem of this side by folding it in by half an inch and further folding it in by half an inch. And to secure this hem of this side by folding it half an inch and further folding it in by half an inch. Alright, before securing the sides, you need to make a side belt so you can insert it in between the front piece and the back piece. So this is the fabric I'll be using for the side belt, and it is 5 inches wide and about 30 inches long for each of these belts. It depends on how long you want your belt to be. Yours can be smaller than mine, or it can be longer than mine, or even wider than mine. Just depends on how you want the belt to be. Now I folded the belt into 2, and at the top of this fold I won't be securing it. I'll just secure the sides by half inch to the end of the belt. Then I'll surely secure the horizontal side of the belt but you can also make yours to have a sharp edge. Just depends on what you want. I think I'll also do that when I get to the sewing machine. And I'll also repeat the same sewing process for the second belt. After securing the belt, the next step is to turn the belt to the right side of the fabric. Right, so I turned the belt to the right side of the fabric, and what I'll just do is to place the belt in between the front piece and the back piece. And to place it correctly, you need to place the belt half inch above the hem. After placing both the front piece and the back piece on this side, you pin the belt to it so it doesn't shift. Now I'll also place the second belt half inch above the hem to use a pin to secure the belt. The next step is to place the bust circumference. And this time around, you are not dividing the bust circumference into 4. Instead, you'll be dividing it into 2 since the fabric is now placed into 2. So if you divide the bust circumference into 2, you should be having 17.5. But for this crop top, if you do not want it to be too tight or you don't want it to press the bust, since it isn't a bustier, you can just add about half inches on both sides. So it depends on what you want, but mine, I'm doing it fitted. Now on the waistline, on the waistline, you can divide the waist circumference into 2, then you also place it to mark the waist point. Now you should connect the bust circumference to the waist circumference, and you should take this to the sewing machine to secure directly on the line I chalked. Alright, I've secured the sides, and I'll turn this to the right side of the fabric. To properly fold in the zipper allowance, you need to fix a zipper directly on the zipper allowance. Alright, so this is the zipper I'll be working with. You can see that it has a silver teeth because I want the top to look very beautiful. So I had to buy this zipper. And then you should make sure that whatever zipper you are using should be an open and close zipper, whereby you can take out the second tip. Using an open and close zipper for this particular style is very important so that you can easily wear the top and easily pull it off. Now I'm just going to take this to the sewing machine to secure the zipper to the zipper allowance. Alright guys, I've attached the zipper to the zipper allowance, and you can see how beautiful it is. Obviously, it actually looks as if this is the front piece of the top. And that is the reason why I said that if you would like to wear it in both ways, make sure that the armhole curve is equal. The next step is on how to cut the sleeves. Alright, recall that I said I used 1 yard of fabric for this top. So after cutting the body of the top, this is the leftover fabric, and I'll be using it to make the sleeve. So the reason for this information is because on the thumbnail, the sleeve is actually longer than the sleeve length I'm about to work on. But because this is the leftover fabric, I have to work with the length I have here. So I folded this fabric into 4, and when I'm done cutting, to give me 2 sleeves. To know the wideness of the fold, you need to divide the armhole circumference by 2, then you multiply it by 2. So the armhole circumference divided by 2 is 8 inches, multiplied by 2 it is 16 inches, but the wideness of the fabric I have here is just 15 inches. I need to manage it that way. which is meant to be 18 inches. So the truth is, if you want your sleeve to be fuller than mine, instead of multiplying it by 2, you should multiply it by 3. But based on the fact that I am managing my fabric, I multiplied it by 2. Now the length of the sleeve here is 13 inches, so it means that by the time I'm sewing, the sleeve length will become 12 inches, which is quite shorter than what I have on the thumbnail, like I said earlier. So if you want yours to be longer, make it longer than 13 inches. Now this is the starting line, and the next line is the cap sleeve line. To know the cap sleeve line measurements, you divide your bust circumference by 12, and whatever you get will be the cap sleeve line. After this, I'll mark the full length, which is 13 inches. Now on that cap sleeve line, I'll mark 4 inches below that line. The reason I am marking 4 inches below that line is because I want the armhole to be deeper when it gets to the side of the seam allowance. Why do I want it to be deeper? Is because I don't want the inner part of the sleeve to be longer than the obvious part of the sleeve. Let me put it that way, so that the sleeve will be equal. Now I'll connect the tip of the starting line to the tip of this new line I marked. I'll place my tape on this slant line to get the midpoint, which is 8 inches. I'll connect the top part of the sleeve to that midpoint by raising it up by ½ inch, and I'll connect the midpoint to the side of the hem by going in ½ inch. After I've gotten my armhole curve, the next step is to cut it out. And because it's not a fitted sleeve, I don't need to make any fitting on this side. I just have to make a straight line as shown. Then I'll open this up and also cut the armhole curve. Please take note that this fabric was not enough to make the sleeve fuller. Just a reminder that if you want the sleeve to be fuller, after dividing the armhole curve, you multiply the armhole by 3 inches so that the wideness of the fold will be fuller than this or wider than this. Alright, so the next step now is to secure the hem of the sleeve by folding it in such a way that an elastic or a ½ inch elastic can pass through it, and also secure the hem of the second sleeve. After securing the sleeve opening, the next step is to insert your elastic into the elastic casing. The next step is to secure the side seam of the sleeve. So you fold the sleeve into 2 to secure the side by ½ inch. Now you should repeat the same sewing process for the second sleeve. After turning the sleeve to the right side of the fabric, the next step is to attach the sleeve to the armhole of the top. To attach the sleeve to the armhole, you can see that the sleeve is wider than the armhole because of the pleating you'll be making on the armhole of the sleeve. So I'll take this to my sewing machine to pleat round the armhole. Alright guys, so this is the final outcome of the top. I hope this tutorial was helpful, and if you are new to my channel, my name is Nancy. Kindly subscribe, share and like my videos, and also put on your notification bell to be notified when I upload new tutorials. Thank you.